and welcome to Belmore Sports Ground for your Monday Night Football. This is a heavily contested match each season. The Bulldogs coming up against the Dolphins. The Bulldogs at home with a massive crowd here roaring their team. I am AMAC in the box, and with me tonight we have Will Kay. Will Kay, how are things?
Things are great, thank you, Anthony. Very excited for this matchup tonight. In particular, Chris Lord playing against his former club in the Dolphins. It's definitely going to be one to watch as he looks to do his best. A big defeat for the Bulldogs last week against your boys, the Sharks. The Dolphins getting a narrow win, a hard-fought success. It's going to be one to watch as the Bulldogs, they look to make amends from last week, and the Dolphins, they look to continue just how they went.
Yeah, big changes in the Dolphins tonight. We've got Damien Moana moving himself back to the number 6 jersey out of the second row jersey, and I think, Will, that probably is going to be a good move for the Bulldogs tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to catch much of the Bulldogs game, but by the looks of it, 40 points put on you, something just wasn't quite clicking. They've got the depth in the forwards. Where they really need Moana right now is in the 5'8" position. They haven't got much depth there, and I think he'll partner really nicely with Joseph Jackson.
And on the other side of the field, there's not much changing in the Dolphins except Buster Groove. He has taken a leave of absence, possibly permanently. And Liam Schrodinger, the man, is here, or he might not be here. We will see later. As the Dolphins, they start with one hell of a boom just there. Now, we were talking earlier, Will. Snicko, he's got one hell of a knack of finding some key players here. Who do you like there out at the Dolphins tonight?
I think Wells is really going to step up tonight, trying to prove that he can fill this gap of Chris Lord. He did well last week, so we'll see how he goes. Oh, that's a shocker. That is a stinker.
Oh, and yeah, as we see, it's still early in the round, so some teams, they're still working out some of those cobwebs, and the Bulldogs have a chance to work out of their half as Moana takes it deep in the pocket and works his way up to the 30. Second tackle, we've got Lord back on the inside to Wallace, and Wallace, good bump off and up to the 40. The Bulldogs already working into their set here, Will.
Yeah, and they're just working hard here. The Dolphins, they're making them work for it with their defense. It's something we've seen time and time again from this team, just really solid defenses. Filippo Gould, a good run there. And a couple of rearranges with the forward line. Filippo Gould moving to prop being one of them. I think him and Thomas Wallace just starting in the 8 and 10 spot respectively will work really well for the Bulldogs tonight.
As Marcus Square, their new recruit coming over from the Wires, grabs it, dances around one, flirts with the sideline there and stays inside. Wells coming up over the 30. Now the Dolphins, as you said earlier, really close win against the Tigers last week, which was good for the Dolphins beginning, and as Snicko was gritting it just a little bit, hoping to chase some of their success from last season.
Yeah, they got all the way to the grand final and just coming short there. They were terrific last season. Tyler Almatangi, a key to their success. He had a double last week against their 17-10 win over the Raiders. You'd think that he'd be firing on all cylinders again this round and this season.
Especially, as you said, with Chris Lord on the opposite team. Definitely no love lost. There's lovely kick chase there from Chapman. Both sides throwing everything they can in this early 5-minute period.
Oh, okay, not an error. So they got lucky there, but that was not a good first play for the Bulldogs in this set.
Johnston out to Wallace. Wallace punching up the middle there. He worked well as their hooker last week. Moving back to the 10 will be interesting to see tonight as Jackson pushes up to 35. Third tackle. Trying to get over that danger line for the 40 there. As Wallace again is smashed there. Pushed back there by Snicko Bro, and they're forced to... No, not 40-20. Lord gets his head in the way and grabs it. And the Bulldogs, not a tidy set at all there, Will.
Not a tidy set at all, but that's great stuff from Snicko Bro, just getting the hit stick on. You love to see it. He always plays with a lot of passion, so I love watching him play, just the way, the intensity of both his attack and his defense. Good to see that he's brought that tonight.
And another one for his highlight reel to round them off. Second tackle there. Rossini out to Matangi. He works his ways there in the Bulldogs half now. Third tackle, just shy of the 40. Coming on strong here. Ole, long ball out to Speedman. but he is pushed back. The Bulldogs resolute here in defence for tackle on the 40. Going wide, Snow, Almatangi again, Ole. Ooh, again, met with that wall of Bulldogs defence. 8 minutes in, we have yet to see our first try of the night.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have been put under all sorts of pressure early on here, but so far they have been able to hold up defensively. That being said, their attack, they really can't get down this other end. The Dolphins are holding them and maintaining them down this end of the field, and that's just part of the plan, I think. Just grind them down and strike when they finally show a bit of weakness. I think that we'll probably see the first points in the next 5 minutes or so.
Back to 10.
And the Bulldogs, they'll be hoping to be the first to score, because when it comes to the benches, Dolphins pouncing on a hell of a mistake there from the Bulldogs. And 9 minutes in, we might see our first points very, very soon here.
Yeah, that's exactly the tiredness I was talking about. The fatigue starting to set in, and just an unforced error for the Bulldogs, unneeded in this position of the field. They're going to be under all sorts of pressure.
Second tackle there on the 20. Boom playing it. Chapman, Rossini. Ooh, he tries to dart through the line. Gets to the 10 at least. Third tackle. 2 to go left in this set. Boom, a long ball. Snow takes the settler, takes it up 5 meters out. They've got options out right. They've got options out left. They take it down the blind. Segarini.
Oh!
And square is over. That was sublime.
That was just way too easy for Marcus Square. A beautiful offload from Zachariah Segarini. Just got on the outside there of Craig Hustle, the former Dolphin again. He is. And was able to get that left flick out all the way to Square. Just put a right foot step on, and all too easy for him. A great finisher in the corner.
Now, we saw last week a lot of tries across the league were scored off opposition errors and opposition penalties and mistakes. The Bulldogs, they've got a quality side here tonight to take it to the Dolphins, but they cannot let them fall into the same trap this week.
No, they certainly can't. And I thought that we'd see the next points very shortly after I said it, and very next set we did. The Bulldogs, they need to use this opportunity to reset, because so far the Dolphins have had all the field positioning, and that's what's given them their first points on the board. If they get into that kind of rhythm like that, they are going to struggle all night, so they need to break the mold now and try and do something different.
It's Ole throws a long, risky ball out to Makazi, and Makazi gets up 12 meters out. First tackle. Dolphins, they're going to want a good set here after points. Segarini, 11, coming up over the 20. The Bulldogs, they're in a good position at the moment, and they know they've got some quality coming in off the bench, so they just need to make sure they can maintain this. If not, get another one before that 20-minute mark.
Yeah, they definitely will want some more points before this 20-minute mark. Sticker Balbrow probably calling for the ball and just using up what's left in the tank as he approaches the end of his stint. I think this is a good return set here from the Dolphins, and they'll really try and tee it off with a good kick from Hugh Snow to try and put the Bulldogs under all sorts of pressure once more.
Snow had a really good kicking game last week and is already doing so again tonight with Columbus. First tackle, good return, 20 meters out. First tackle, Hodgson works his way up, almost got across the line except for some defense last week, and we'll be hoping for another good set here tonight. Jackson, risky offload back, and the Bulldogs are able to hold on to it with Chris Lord. Third tackle, struggling to get out of their half here. The Dolphins letting them straight through as I said it. Gould playing it there. Lord pushed up to the halfway, to the 40-meter mark. Can't get too much further and is forced to play it. So the Bulldogs, a little bit risky set there, but they're able to get off a good kick, and a good kick chase is what they need right now, as Chapman denies them that. But the cover defense is able to keep them there 40 meters out. The Dolphins are in form tonight, Will.
Yeah, Jackson Chapman, he's had a good game so far tonight. He's had a couple of line breaks down that right wing off the kick returns, and he pounced on that ball that led to points earlier. So he's having quite a good performance out in that right wing. They need to start just, I don't know, putting a lot more pressure on him, because Mai and Angie Slugger, a new combination that left edge for the Bulldogs, just not quite clicking yet.
Fourth tackle just over the 50. Ole dancing up the sideline. Columbus forced to come across and save the tackle, but Ole gets himself to the 20 and puts them in the position where they could possibly get a good attacking kickoff here. as Wells puts it high, 5 meters out, but Cambolo stops it and works it back, playing it there 3 meters out. 3 minutes until the bench comes off. Moana, risky ball. Wallace takes it, and the Bulldogs, they will be struggling to get out of their 40 right now.
Yeah, and they are. Just look, third tackle, not even quite at the 20 yet. This defense has just been great from the Dolphins so far in the match. There's no gaps in their line. The tackles, they're just fierce. They're avoiding the contact at the moment, the Bulldogs.
As they get just shy of the 40, 23 meters gained. Fifth tackle, Bulldogs looking a little bit tired out there and hoping those props are coming on soon. Moana, decent kick, gets over the 40, and now Matangi is wrapped up. But the Dolphins, they will be starting their set 2 meters shy of the halfway line and in excellent field position to put on an attacking play here.
And they're just looking so much fitter out there as the Dolphins. Maybe their preseason was just a bit more quality. As here goes Snicker Valbroa. Oh, I was hoping he could get around Bunty Gambolo at the back there.
Oh, I know Snicko, he was happy with the win last week, but he does not like a tight, short, single-digit win. So he was probably back with his boys, making sure they were back into their fitness. 5 meters out, fifth tackle, where do they go? They come across. Snow puts it high, puts it very high, but Columbus has it in him to stop it. Can't get around the defense though, and this will be the first set where we see some boys coming off the bench right about now. There they go. Bulldogs, they're going to receive the first subs of the game. As Hustler gets around one and gets up over the 40, the Bulldogs definitely needed that run there, Will.
Yeah, that's a good run there, and they just got out of a bit of trouble. They were really struggling to get out of their own 20 for a while there. But now they're well within the other team's half. There's Cameron Smith topping that one on now for the Bulldogs. It's Nathan Walsh and Cameron Smith. They'll be both taking on Lennox Prakash and Buster Groove. Sorry, not Buster Groove, Liam Schrodinger. So I think that maybe the Dolphins will still have the class on them in the front row, just going to this next period of 20.
Yeah, although having said that, Walsh and Smith both proved terrors against us last week. Line breaks all over the place. So these boys aren't slouches. They definitely have it in them to take it. It's just whether or not they've got it in them to take it up against the Platinum there in Prakash. As Schrodinger takes it, third tackle, almost to the 40. Dolphins need to get across this red line. Segarini, again, 45 meters out, fourth tackle. The Dogs turning up here in defense. Oh, outside, inside. Lovely ball for Amatangi there, and he gets around one, but pass back on the inside. Lovely ball. Oh, Prakash, he was just wrapped up there, and the Dolphins, they are in and they are attacking. Fifth tackle, cross, Snow, up again, bit deep. And the chase just wasn't there. My taking it with no difficulty whatsoever.
Yeah, the kick there just not quite hitting the mark, a little bit too far as well. That's a good run from Cameron Smith. And, yeah, just a little bit poor there.
As Tedesco off to Lord. Lord punching up through the middle, and off he goes.
Oh, my gosh.
Tired
my
defense.
gosh.
Oh, another one. And Chris Lord, he had a bit of a quiet game last week, and he is making up for it right now, breaking 3 or 4 tackles there. Smith, lovely offload to him, and the Bulldogs, second tackle, they are already 5 meters out. Danger signs here for the Dolphins as Johnston pushing forward. And that's it. The Bulldogs, they may just have scored their first points of the night.
Yeah, and I think they have here, and it's done through just hard work off the back of that Chris Lord run. And that kick just give them an extra tackle here, the Bulldogs. The one that they caught on their own in goal. And that's been enough to get them down this end and put a try, and the crowd very happy with that one as the Dogs finally on the board after 24 minutes, maybe taking the lead here.
And that was just some very good work there from the Bulldogs forward packs. They've been trying to go down the sidelines all night, trying to use their speed to get around the Dolphins, and it was just a simple straight run up the middle from their lock, and then another couple of runs up there from some bench players, pass it off to another forward, and they are over. So that's what I personally love to see. Big boys pushing it up the middle and making sure they score. Yeah,
I do like seeing a big boy just being able to push over for a try like that. So it was good on Good on the Bulldogs there. The Dolphins, I think that they've really got to ask what happened in that set. They've been so strong at the start of this game. What slipped up and what they need to fix up to just try and get back in the lead here.
It's Kieran Wills. Kicks off again, and the Bulldogs receiving it for the first time tonight. Tedesco, lovely ball to Walsh, and Walsh takes his first hit up, 20 metres, first tackle. 15 minutes left in this and plenty of game left to go, so do not turn away from your TV right now. Lord, second tackle. Johnston, our previous try scorer there, takes another strong hit up, and the Dolphins, it looks like Snicko's just roared one into him, and they are making sure that the Bulldogs cannot get much further. Fourth tackle, they've just got over the 40, and if they can keep the Bulldogs in just like that, they should get the ball in some good field position after this kick.
Oh my God, Daniel, what is... Oh, not Daniel, Moana, sorry, what is that? He got a step on, but geez, that is a shocker. He did kick like Daniel Hellier for a bit there. That was a stinker.
Oh, and it's points like that. Do you blame the kicker or do you blame the big-ass forward and sitting in front of the kicker?
Oh, you blame the kicker. If it's a big-ass forward, why can't you see him?
Segarini works his way up over the 40. I've liked Segarini so far in the 11 jersey. He's been a good addition to the Dolphins since he came here, and he's been doing hard minutes there. As there he goes again.
Oh! That's an important play there.
Yep. Definitely cursed in there, unfortunately. And the Bulldogs, the Dolphins, they looked almost certain to score at the end of that set there, Will.
Yeah, Segarini just pushing the pass there. And, I mean, it's lucky that Hustler was there for the Bulldogs because they had about a 3-man overlap. The Dolphins out on that left edge. How they got the ball in their hands, they would have easily scored a try. Probably Marcus Square in for another one in the left corner. So Craig Hustler coming up with a very good play there defensively.
Long ball out to Walsh, and Walsh makes some good post-contact meters, gets just shy of the 30. Fifth tackle, 28 minutes into the game. Moana.
Oh no.
Another kick. And he gets to the 50.
Very lucky Bunty was there.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those things that captains are struggling with all across the league. How to make sure your number 6 can kick out of trouble. Oh no. But again, the SRL gods smiled down upon the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs have the ball once more.
That's 2 errors there from the Dolphins in a row. Just cracks starting to show in the Dolphin side, so we'll see whether this sticks or whether they fix up in the next couple of sets.
Third tackle, just shy of the 40. Tedesco taking a nice little dart out of dummy there. Fourth tackle. They might, if they have a good run, get at least to the 20, but the Bulldogs will be forced to punt here, and the Dolphins making up for that error on the halfway line.
And it may not be a bad thing that they're punting. Joseph Jackson getting the kick. We don't know what Moana would do. He may even kick it backwards if he was to bomb it. He's not quite having a good night with the boot. And, well, what really needs to be asked is, if Moana moves himself back out of the 6 again, who replaces him there at the Bulldogs? There's really no one at the moment that comes to mind for the Bulldogs, and I think that's the issue. Tamatu Tafa last week playing at halfback with Joseph at 6 just didn't quite seem to click. I'm not too sure about the move. And I'm unsure of whether Tama is the right choice for a half at all. I think I'll much prefer him somewhere in the forward line, whether it be prop lock or hooker. So I'm not too sure who would take that spot. There's not a whole lot of options in this Bulldog side. Maybe something to look forward to as we get down to the trading period in a couple of weeks' time, as Columbus does a lovely dink around and works his way up the field, almost gets through that wave of defence there, playing it there 50 metres out. 33 minutes into the half, 7 minutes to go. The Bulldogs, they would be hoping for at least another try, but that's what they do. That's not what they wanted. No, that error very much unnecessary there, and just the forward pass, it's a bit of a silly one. It's unforced, and the Bulldogs will be very disappointed that that's how they use that set. The Dolphins, looks like they're tuning up for a good set here. Yep. And I'll remind viewers, 2 weeks into the new season, you kind of expect some of these issues as new combinations try to work their way out and
kind of play reflexively without really thinking too much sometimes. So the Dolphins, fifth tackle, Prakash working his way up to the 10. Dolphins in a good position here for a kick as Snow makes to run and puts it high.
Oh, here we go.
Amatangi, the defense was there, but you cannot stop Tyler Amatangi, one of the best players from last season. He is looking at making sure that continues in season 10.
Yeah, really simple try there for Tyler Amatangi. Is Cooper Speedman getting above the pack? Not a big man, but he's got a massive vert by the looks of it. Able to get up there, tap the ball back to him, and an easy try for Tyler in the end. The Dolphins happily back in the league, as Wells looks to redeem his first goal kick with this one.
Oh, it looks like he's got the right angle to it. Shaping around. And it's a cross. So good kicking there from Wells, but I reckon he'll be going back to his boys and telling him to try to score a bit closer to the dotted line there.
And that try comes off the back of that forward pass from the Bulldogs just down about halfway down the field. Just a really unforced and unnecessary error, and they're paying the price, the ultimate price for it now. And I mean, I think that going into the sheds at half time, I don't think many people will be looking Damien Moana in the eye after that one.
No, as Prakash takes the first hit up of the set, 4 minutes left in the half, probably 2 sets apiece for each team before the bell ring-a-ding-a-dings. Snow back on the inside to Wells. Makes a half break up through, but the defense is keeping him there. Second tackle. Going down the blind, back on the inside, Cox. Hasn't had much of an impact so far tonight, Cox, but his defense has been able to keep the Bulldogs out. And whilst you might not be attacking, I'm pretty sure Snicko Bro is going to be happy with that defensive effort so far.
Yeah, I mean, Snicko Barbrower, he's huge on his defensive metrics. I mean, you hear it when he's captaining, you hear it when he's commentating. He does really appreciate the value of a good defense. I mean, Lachlan Cox, time and time again, we've seen what a defender. He averages, I don't know if this is a real stat, I'd say he probably averages about 20 to 25 tackles a game and doesn't miss very many. So he's the perfect right second rower, especially for the Dolphin system.
And I don't know how my Arva stayed in there, but thank God they did, because Walsh is broken up 40 metres out, second tackle. The Bulldogs coming back hard. Smith juggles it off his noggin and makes something out of nothing. It's just shy of the 50 as some props work their way back off the bench. Mayava just shy of the 50, fourth tackle. So a promising start to the set, but unfortunately it's petering out with, as you said, that really strong, rigid Dolphins defense there, Will.
Yeah, and once again, they're just finishing the set in the middle of the field here for the Bulldogs. Kicking from just past the 50-metre line. And they've been doing it all game, and that's what's given them the upper hand for most of this clash. I mean, the scoreboard, obviously, not telling the tale of that, but the Dolphins have been dominant. So the Bulldogs, they've been really lucky that they haven't conceded more. And their defense, I mean, maybe it's not all luck. Their defense has been pretty good on their line. But certainly, the Dolphins are the dominant team so far tonight.
And their offload game has actually been working for them. So Ole, third tackle, less than 10 seconds. This is probably going to be the last hit up of the game. Half, I should say. We'll see you after the break.
Hello, NRL Hotel. How can I help?
Yeah, g'day. I'd like to organise an early checkout, please.
How does the 60-minute mark of the grand final sound?
Perfect.
But I booked a final spot in round 10.
So it looks like that was cancelled in round 13. So if you could just move aside, though, we've got some genuine top 8 teams about to check in. There you go.
What?
All the best.
Really?
Penthouse.
Oh, you have got to be joking. Going up the was?
Nah, down.
Yo!
So we've had some complaints. Is there any chance you can wrap this party up soon?
Yeah, sure. Just give us another couple of seasons, all right?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Is that all you're going to do to stop them?
Better than you managed.
Yes, rooms. Yeah, send up another 5 utility players, please.
Right away, sir. And shall I send up some more Panthers?
Oh, sounds delish.
Any baggage, sir?
Yeah, heaps. Try 38 years worth.
Jeez Louise.
Can I help you?
Yeah, actually, got any wins against top 8 teams in here somewhere?
No, just have towels.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Hey SRL fans, want to support the league further? Join the Simulation Rugby League Patreon. Get exclusive access to additional content, early access to league releases and supporter-only giveaways and upgrades. Whatever you're looking for, we have something for every fan. When you become a Patreon, you're more than just a spectator. You're a crucial part of our team. Your support helps us keep delivering the high-quality matches and content that you love, and it ensures that we can keep the SRL experience growing for fans of all ages. It's super simple. Head to our Patreon page, pick the tier that's right for you, and you're in. Every bit of support helps us grow and makes the SRL an even better place for everyone. Now, back to the game.
And welcome back to the second half here at Belmore Sports Ground, where the Bulldogs are hosting the Dolphins. It has been one hell of a first half, real gritty footy, real tight defence, and the scoreline, 6 points to the Bulldogs, 10 points to the Dolphins. Anyone's game with 40 minutes left to go. Will, run us through some of those halftime stats.
I mean, like you said, the Dolphins, they've been dominant. They had the 60% of the ball, but some of the things that stood out to me is the Bulldogs. Now, who would you say has had the second least run meters from their team? Because if you have someone, and it's not Bunty Cambolo, you're wrong. Bunty Cambolo with, 13 run meters at halftime. Their centres have run more than Bunty. Actually, sorry, only one centre has run more than Bunty at halftime for the Bulldogs. But when you're a fullback, that is not what you need. He's having a shocker tonight. He hasn't had much opportunity at all, and I mean, that kick's not going to help out the Bulldogs in any sort.
No, and while the Dolphins have had 60% of the possession, it's really interesting that they haven't had as many attacking attempts as they really should have had. So, whilst the scoreline is only 4 points apiece, I would very easily say that the Dolphins should be a little bit more ahead than they currently are, Will.
Yeah, the Dolphins, I mean, they've had plenty of ball, they've had plenty of opportunity. They just haven't quite had quite the attacking tenacity as we've come to know from them. And I think maybe they're just still warming up into the season. But by no doubt the more dominant side in the first half. I think they'll really shine in the second half. And yeah, there's an error as soon as I say that.
So what we need tonight, well, what the Bulldogs will be hoping for tonight, because it was about 4 points difference last week for them at the halftime break. They would want to be seeing themselves sticking into it, because it was really close until about the 60-minute mark, and then the Sharks pulled away from them. So if the Bulldogs, if they can take the intensity here to the Dolphins in this first 20 minutes of this half, with a good run there from Tedesco, they might see themselves being able to pull away a sneaky little upset here.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a juggle there from the Bulldogs, and they're still not quite clicking. We saw in that first half they had quite a few errors and quite a few bobbles, just where the ball either ended up in the wrong person's hand or it ended up in the other team's hands. So they need to cut that out of the game, because that really is killing them, their momentum a lot.
And that was a good chase there from the Bulldogs, pinning the Dolphins down in their little 10-metre corner there. Almatangi forced to try to get out across the 10. Second tackle. Snow back on the inside to Makazi. Makazi working up, getting over the 20, doing hard meters here in the number 8 jersey. Snow, risky ball to Cox there. Cox clocking over 15 tackles in that first half, Will.
Yeah, 15 tackles in that first half for Lachlan Cox. Really big stuff. Jeez, they're really struggling here, the Dolphins. They couldn't get out of their own half. And, yeah, the Bulldogs, that's much better defense. That's a huge improvement for them.
And with Tutafa and Willis on the field here, the Bulldogs, they might have something to try to get over the Dolphins, as Tutafa, speak of the devil, gets across the 30. We've got debutant here in Butcher, I think, tonight. No, Butcher played last week, but he had a good stint off the bench last week, Butcher, and it's always good to see some of those Mines rookies coming up and having a real impact off the bench.
Yeah, Katoni Butcher, it's a name that I really like. He's been promoted from Waterboy to centre, coming off the bench for the Dolphins. He scored last week, I believe, so let's see if he can score another one in round 2.
Yeah, the rookie MVP award this season is going to be very interesting. Not a lot of rookies around the league this season. A couple get promoted every couple of weeks or so, but the quality we're getting coming up out of the mines is absolutely phenomenal to see. As the Dolphins are at least getting over their 43rd tackle, the Bulldogs, a definite improvement here with their defence, Will.
Yeah, they're being a lot more gritty. They're being a lot more staunch. And they're just showing face a bit more. So it's a huge improvement, like you said. And the Dolphins, they're having to work a bit harder to get down this other end.
Just getting to the 40 metres, 50 minutes into this. We saw that the Dolphins, it took them about 10 minutes to score in the first half. So we're getting about that now in the second half. And that defence there from the Dolphins will definitely help to pin the Bulldogs here in their half, as Cambolo tries his best to get up over the 20 and just can't get through that defence. Second tackle.
He's probably doubled his run meters there, Bunty Cambolo, after that run for the first half.
Oh. And again, it's just hard with the departure of Maxwell here for the Bulldogs. It's looking like it's proving a bit troublesome here for Moana to juggle around who he replaces with some of the quality that have gone to some other teams.
Yeah, and it was just, I mean, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? The amount of golds. I think they had 4 golds or something, the Bulldogs. So they had to let go of Casey Namina and Tatira Maxwell, and that's just an unfortunate situation. However, out of it, they did get Chris Lord, so not the worst trade-off, but certainly a hard decision to make nonetheless.
As the forwards for the Dolphins here, matching up again, Prakash followed by Wells. Snow coming across to Shakatak, who had an excellent game off the bench last week. 4th tackle just on the other side. 20, coming wide. Snow, Ole, lovely ball to Almatangi, but he just can't get around. The Dolphins, good attacking kick coming, he says, very well knowing he might be jinxing it here. But no, Ole putting it up 5 metres out. Columbus, though, he has the ball, and the Dolphins miss probably their best chance so far this set.
Yeah, the Dolphins, they have had a hard half so far. They haven't been able to get down this end very much, and that kick just not quite hitting the mark for them. But a huge improvement just getting down this end, so we'll see whether they can get some points on the boards shortly.
And Snicko is cracking the whip there off the bench. The Dolphins, they are keeping them in their half once more. The Bulldogs only getting to the 40. It also has to be said, this has been...
Oh, jeez.
No, that's not good at all. I was about to say this has been a pretty clean half so far with at least no penalties. And whoa, there goes Square, gets around 1 and up to the 10. This is danger signs here for the Dolphins, Will.
Yeah, a huge number of tackles to be had yet. This could really be dangerous. Shakatak taking on the line, and I think they'll probably just try a couple of crash plays here. The Dolphins. Oh, that's gone a bit haywire.
Well, it almost looked like it bounced off a Bulldog, and that is not a new set restart. So, not sure what's about to happen, but Prakash is over. Prakash has muscled his way over, and I suppose that's what you get when you've got a Platinum coming in as your number 14.
Yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen. The Dolphins score. It was just a matter of who was it. And Lennox Prakash just way too strong for Bunty Cambolo. He's not getting any assistance there. And, yeah, just an easy try. Probably the easiest one of his career for Lennox Prakash.
And you can already see the relief there. Oh, Wells is not kicking. It's now Ole kicking. Ole's put his hand up and gone, Wells, you take the hard ones out wide. I'm going to take the easy ones right next to the post here.
Yes, a bit of stat padding, and I dare say it's because Wells comes off usually in the 65th minute, so just let Osho Ole settle in for the half, and that way he's not going fresh in for a kick to win it in the last 15 minutes.
And so the deficit now is 10 points the difference. The bets tonight heavily favouring the Dolphins. I'm actually hoping that it stays a bit closer. 54, 55 minutes into the game. Bulldogs kicking off once more.
Yeah, I think I took... Well, I know I took the Dolphins. I'm just not too sure. I think I took 9-18. Yes, I did. So that's right within our range right now. So very happy with how we're sitting.
As my Cuzzy gets up to the 20 and... Oh... No, Bulldogs, that is not going to help, and doing it here in front of your fans, that is not what you want to see if you're a Dogs fan.
Nah, here at Belmore, I mean, it's sacred ground for the Bulldogs, and that's a shocker. After conceding points, you can't be giving away an easy penalty like that. That's an absolute coach killer.
As ball comes back to Ole. Oh, tricky ball on the inside as Butcher sticks his nose through. Can't get around. Some good defense there from the Bulldogs. Second tackle. Wells straight up the guts. Makes about 10 meters. Third tackle. The Dolphins are on the pounce. Shack attack. Out wide, coming up to the 30. Fourth tackle. Another good run. Another 10 meters there. Rossini back wide. Snow. Long ball. Prakash bumps up. Can he get past the fullback? He passes on the inside to Wells again. That Wells-Prakash has been an absolute wonderful pairing. So something to look forward to for Snicko here at the Dolphins. As Snow puts it up, it's probably not deep as you would want it, and Hustler comes down with it. Makes about 5 meters, and the Bulldogs are out of danger once more.
Yeah, a great take there from Hustler, and he's been really good in that right edge for them. He has just been stellar. He got that intercept before. Now he's had a couple of good takes in the air. So he really is showing the goods tonight. They're lucky they have him, honestly, because they have been struggling. So in the air, oh god, I've jinxed him. I've jinxed him again.
Rossini, he just stopped and he knew exactly what was about to happen and put himself right where he needed to be. Ole out to Almatangi. Tricky ball out to Chapman. Chapman dancing up through the sideline, but he is forced back to the 10. Second tackle, 4 tackles left to go, and we're 10 meters off the line. Makazi pushing forward, but stopped 2 or 3 meters short. Slow to play the ball. Rossini, crash play. Prakash, is he in for his second? No, he's on his back. Fourth tackle. 60 minutes in. That is very, very, very good defense there from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, great stuff there from the Bulldogs. Just able to stop that try attempt there. But we still got a tackle, so we'll see what happens. So 2 tackles.
Come across Wells. He takes a settler. He's pushing though. Gets 2 meters out. 5th tackle. Where do they go? They go back across to Snow. Oh, he puts a grubber in for himself, and it's just got too much legs on it. Hodgson picks it up. They get back into the field, and the Bulldogs survive yet another set on their line. If this keeps going, the Bulldogs, they're just going to gas themselves, and the Dolphins will keep it going.
No, Hodgson's done a very good job to get outside of his own in-goal there. And he saved them a painful third defensive set, really, in a row. So, good stuff there from him. But the Bulldogs, they're just on the back foot. And the Dolphins, they got him up against the ropes.
As Moana off to Cambola, and Cambola makes 15 good meters there. Starting to warm back into it. We saw this last week. The same thing happened with Liam Ryan over the Titans. He had a bit of a quiet first half and a steamrolling ball running half in the second, so square. Stops just before he runs out, much to the relief of Snicko Balbroa. And the Dolphins, 61 minutes in, almost look like they're in cruise control right now, Will.
Yeah, they just really are at the moment. They are not going too expansive or anything. Oh, that's a good run there from Charles Rossini. Yeah, they're not trying anything too fancy. They're 10 points ahead, and they don't need to try anything fancy, so they're just taking it easy at the moment and seeing what pops up in front of them.
As Speedman, 35 meters short of the line. Snow, long ball out to Ole. Snow and Ole linking up have been excellent tonight as well. This is one of the massive strengths of the Dolphins pack. They have linkages and pairings all over the shop. Snow kicks it down to Columbus, and Columbus gets around one, can't get around the other one, but, you know, the Bulldogs, they're starting in good position here. Already throwing it expansively early in the set. 2 minutes left, and Chris Lord is going to come off. You would hope that they can do something here, because without Lord on the field, things might just turn a bit dire.
Yeah, without Lord, I feel like this team just... the quality of it goes down tremendously. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I don't know how the Bulldogs will fare, especially because I believe it's going to be Yigo Makazi coming back on at lock. And he's a vicious little one, so we'll see how that goes.
As Moana kicks it. Ooh, a well-placed kick for Almatangi, and a really good kick chase. They try to angle him back over the line, but the Bulldogs have the chance now. If they can keep them here, if they can keep them... Oh, boom. How did that happen? First one up, and he is over. Already warming into that prop rotation here. Butcher down the sideline. The Dolphins rookies doing a number here on the Bulldogs. Rossini, Ole cuts through the line.
Oh, beautiful ball.
Lovely ball. And back on the inside to Cox. Dolphins, they are not playing easy now. They are definitely throwing the ball. Snicko Balbroa, he wants another one.
Here we
Tackle
go.
option. Where do they go? Ole just runs it up. That's a little bit disappointing, actually.
Yeah, I think that Ole was just getting a little bit too flashy there. He was trying to put a kick in and just got too close to the line. Heavy contact on him. The ball just came loose. Yeah, just not quite what they needed there, the Dolphins. But it was a good set, and he had a good pass earlier, so they got down there because of him. You can excuse that, I think.
Tedesco, big fend there, gets his team just shy of the 50, and the Bulldogs, they just can't get out of their half. Third tackle, 67 minutes into the game, and they are struggling to get over the 50, and when they do, smashed there by Snicko Bro. Johnson pumps off one, gets over just shy of the 20. Hopefully maybe an attacking kick, but it's not looking good. 20-meter grubber. That actually didn't do too badly there for the Bulldogs, Will.
No, it was very good there. Decent kick, but the Dolphins just able to clean up.
Cox, second tackle, gets across the 20. Ole, Balbroa, massaging this into the 70th minute, 68 minutes into it. Third tackle on the 30. Boom. Another lovely run. 40 on the fourth. 40-20 territory. Here we go. Snow. Lovely kick. It's got the distance. It's got way more than the distance.
It's got the distance, all right.
Bulldogs gifted a 7-tackle set. This might be what they need to get up to the other end of the field. It's only 10 points. 10 points in 10 minutes is definitely a doable thing in the SRL.
I mean, it's definitely doable, but the Bulldogs, are they the ones that are going to be able to do it? They've been trapped down their end for most of this game. It's going to have to be a big couple of sets here for them to get in that position and then execute.
Second tackle just shy of the 40. Here we come across to Willis. Willis is gang rushed and pushed straight back almost to the exact place they played it before. Moana back on the inside to Johnston. Johnston's trying his best and he gets just shy of the 50. Fourth tackle. We're in the final 10 minutes now. That's 3 over-unders that they've done, and it just hasn't been working for them, unfortunately. The Bulldogs kicking from inside their 50. Jackson booting it down to their 10. Marcus Square gets around one, gets over almost to the 50. The Dolphins, Snicko, he does not want 10 points. He wants 16, and the Dolphins, they are coming with Almatangi. Breaks one. This is danger signs here for the Bulldogs. If the Dolphins get across at the end of this set, that is lights out here for the Bulldogs and game over.
Yeah, it sure is. Good run there from Marcus Square, and it just shows a bit of inexperience at the fullback spot for the Bulldogs. He actually didn't even get touched, not even slowed down by Cambola. They got very lucky that Wallace was on the inside to make the tackle. Otherwise, that's another try to Marcus Square tonight.
And the Bulldogs just slowing things down a bit. They at least push them back to the 20.
Here we go.
Bumps off one. There we go. That is probably the game. The deficit here will be 22 points to 6, and that is probably too far for the Bulldogs to come back.
Yeah, a good run there from Yeager Markazi, and just look, he just takes off, fends off Kobe Johnston, and there was no one in the world that was going to stop him. The little man able to get some points on the board. I think that's his first. Yeah, he didn't score last week, so that's his first for the season. And the Dolphins comfortably ahead now with just under 8 minutes to go.
And that is the danger of this Dolphins pack when you've got a little speedy man here sitting in the 8 up against some of those big boys. Sometimes those big boys, they just don't have the fitness to keep up with them. So this Dolphins 8-10 punch with Markazi and Snicko, another force to be reckoned with since Season 10.
Yeah, I really like this move for Yeager Markazi into the middle of the field. He's a great 11, but they've got Segarini there. It's a good option for them. They lost Stace to pace. It just all works naturally, and Yeager Markazi, he's done well so far in that position. I know that Snicker was very eager to have him in the props, and he's performing there so far.
As Boom returns the ball 20 metres out, first tackle. So they've still got points in the my field, and the Dolphins, they want another one. At snack attack, gets across the 30. Second tackle, going down the blind side. Lovely ball out to Square, who sidesteps into about 17,000 different Bulldogs defenders just there. Third tackle on the 40. Rossini, give it to my Cuzzy, gets up to the 50. Good attacking set here after points so far. Square again dancing down the sideline, but he is pushed back, and the Dolphins, 5 minutes out, look like they are definitely putting the foot to the neck. They are not backing off at all. Lovely tick there. Really interesting clean up there from the Bulldogs, but Slugger does what he can and at least gets them out to the 20 there.
Yeah, my wanted no part in that at all, so a fair enough pickup from Andrew Slugger. They've forced an error there. It's Snicker Balbroa, big hit. Good on him.
And again, Snicker Balbroa, he's got about 3 or 4 to add to his highlight reel tonight as Speedman gets through the line. First tackle on the 10. This is going to be ugly. Coming wide, Snow, good ball out to Amatungi, back to Ole. Ole, 5 metres out. Second tackle, 4 minutes left on the clock. My Cuzzy rushed up in the fence there. He's pushing forward though. Does he get there? No, he doesn't. Whoa. Snow is on his back. This Dolphins attack is being relentless, but the Bulldogs, somehow, they're keeping them out.
Yeah, no, the Bulldogs, they've been able to just put them on the back there, but the Dolphins still 2 more tackles. They will be, I reckon they'll be spreading this one probably on the last, or maybe now. I think they'll be spreading the ball here with a kick or something, and just trying to get one more and ruin my bet.
Square, off to my Cuzzy. My Cuzzy puts the boot up. Don't know why he was allowed to kick, but it wasn't a half bad one. Cambola grabs it and makes about 20 metres. This will probably be the second last set for the Bulldogs, and whilst they're probably not going to win it tonight, 3 minutes, they'll need about 4 tries. Moana, he will definitely be wanting a consolation try by the end of this set, I would feel.
Yeah, he'll be wanting just something to help out the for and against. It's been 2 hard losses here for the Bulldogs in a row now. Obviously, this is an improvement from last week. They didn't get 40 put on them, but still, it is nowhere near good enough and nowhere near the calibre of footy that we expect from the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. So I think I'll be back to the drawing board for round 3, and we'll see how they go. I'm eager to see how Damien Moana looks to bounce back, because he really is one of the best captains in the SRL that we've seen ever.
Yeah. And if any captain can work their way out of a false start like this, then it's definitely Moana. As Rossini comes across, cheeky little ball back to Boom. 30 metres, third tackle, less than 2 minutes on the clock. The Bulldogs will be lucky to get more than a couple of balls at the end of this set. Fourth tackle, speaking of which, here comes a 40-20 attempt here from Ole. Ooh. Very interesting kick on the ball there. It's got the distance, it just doesn't have the angle, and Columbus forced to return here. 30 seconds left. The Bulldogs are going to have to play some expansive football here if they want to get anywhere near the try line.
Yeah, 20 seconds. I think it's all wrapped in the bag. I don't think anything's going to happen. This will be the scoreboard. Yep, that will be it. And, at least my tip's gotten up, but that's it.
And a well-fought, well-deserved win there from the Dolphins tonight. A hard loss here for the Bulldogs. They played decently for certain periods of the night, but unfortunately, they were just outclassed.
Yeah, simply outclassed, and there's not much more to say about that. 2 weeks at home now, 2 losses in a row. I think they'll be happy to go for rivalry round. I'm not too sure who they're playing next week. I'll have that for you guys in a second, but yeah, a really hard loss for them. In fact, they will be playing the Panthers next week, so there you go. Here's the stats, Anthony, and geez.
Yep, and again, it's shades of last week, unfortunately, with a 60-40 split in possession, 60 to the Dolphins, 40 to the Bulldogs. Errors about the same, 6 and 6. Then a penalty, but the tackles, they made about 200 tackles last week, and they're doing it again tonight. So they need to somehow get their defence, not their defence, their attack firing, because whilst they've got the defense to keep a whole lot of tries out, if they can't get down the other end of the field, they just can't be putting those attacks on. Missed tackles, about the same. Line breaks, massively inflated there for the Dolphins, as you can see with the scoreline. As we move into the individual stats here. And Tedesco, that's a lot of run meters for the young man, 242. Kobe Johnston, 136. Columbus, 124. But if you have to go a long way down till we get to Bunty Cambolo. 80 run meters for your fullback. That's unfortunate for him tonight.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that he'll be maintaining that spot going into week 3 against the Panthers. I think it may be someone else out the back there by the time we get to that. But yeah, just a lot of underwhelming statistics here. I mean, some good defense here. Jack Tedesco, Chris Lord, both getting 24 and 25. Hodgson, 23 for him. But a lot of missed tackles as well. So we can see across the board, there just really wasn't the efforts that the Bulldogs needed, and that's just how the game went. That's why we got the score that we did.
Yeah, and Moana, I know he was worried about putting himself there in the number 6, but 9 kicks for 200 and 280. That's not terrible. There was 1 or 2 off the boot kicks, but he did a solid job tonight with what he could work with.
He sure did. As we'll move on.
And Rossini, look at the amount here. 2 blokes over 200 meters. Somehow Amatangi just below Rossini. Rossini did an absolute number tonight and is definitely earning his number 9 battle there.
Yeah, he did so well. He got 2 try assists, 22 tackles with only 2 missed. A huge performance from him. I thought he was really, really quality tonight. So he's done well. Amatangi, good performance as always from him. And then I thought Marcus Square and Jackson Chapman on the other edges also played really well, with Square getting 5 line breaks, Chapman getting 8. So both wingers doing a really good job. And then the halves, they were able to play from there. Prakash and Yegor, huge efforts in the forwards as well.
Yep, and Snow kicking 311 kicking meters. The halves, probably one of the better halves pairing in the entire league for season 10. So the shot across the bow here for the rest of the SRL. The Dolphins are still in it, and they are a force to be reckoned with season 10.
Yeah, they sure are.
And that'll be all of us done for the night. This has been Monday Night Football here at Belmore Sports Ground. Dolphins 22 over the Bulldogs 6. See you later.